Just let me finish posting to the world. Let everyone in Twitter world, let everybody in the Facebook world, let everybody know about it. So how you doing today, man? Hope everything is good. You know, I figure sometimes I used to put on this channel on YouTube, lo-fi hip-hop. It's just like some long form, you know, some soft hip-hop beat. I figure instead of having just random podcasts and stuff playing in the background, maybe I might be able to do that. This is I don't know if I'm gonna have to like give you know what I'm saying, give whatever to them, but it's on Chilled Cow on YouTube, so check them out. It's dope. I'm sure there's other ones, but that's the one I got on tonight. I'm gonna just let this rock for as long as I can, or until the stream just keep on going. But either way, I want to welcome y'all to the Andrew Glosheski experience. My neighbor's still coughing her ass off, man. What is going on? And then we're gonna continue warming up with this one. Probably spend a good maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours on it. I gotta render out some more of the face, and then I definitely need to jump on to the body. Kind of nervous about that because I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then it's super light right now, but he's got a halo behind his head, and I'm probably gonna have to pull up a reference just to kind of see how some classic halo is, because I don't know if I want to do just a regular just line sunburst shit. I might want to do some dope type of rune type shit. But either way, gonna get around to that tonight. I'll probably do the sweater first down here, and then work my way up. And then yeah, man, picking this one up. I figure I'll just continue this technique that I got for the mountains while I figure out what the hell I'm gonna be doing for the little town over here. And then the trees, I'll probably even do the trees before I get to the town, just because, you know, obviously texturing is gonna be a lot easier than working on what's going on in here. The big question I have about this stuff is the colors that I'm gonna be using. You know, I'm thinking like favelas type thing, and when I think that, I think color. But this is the Arctic, and you know, not to say in an imaginary world that you can't have color in the Arctic, but just don't know. I'll figure it out once I get there. That's what it's all about, right? Welcome, viewer. I don't know if you just popped in, popped out, but yeah, getting ready to get started right now. Oh, I'm hitting my desk, making the camera wobble. Sorry about that. Alright, so let me pull up my references real quick. Cool. Got my reference out, and then let me see, get my timer ready too. 0. Just do some more 3 minutes. 3-minute increments. And yeah, man. If you're still there, if you're still watching, feel free to say anything. Obviously, it's just me and you right now. You can tell me how your day's going. You can tell me anything. We don't know each other. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do in this world. We got to support each other. So, whether you in and out or whether you still there, I'm glad. Let me, let me get this timer going. Just jump into this. Like I said, we just warming up. Hey. Love that name, yo. It's a real cool drawing. Like the fact how you put words with the face. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is a design I'm doing for a shirt. And you know, if you check out my work, I've been doing a whole lot of portraits lately. But this one had the words in mind while doing it, so kind of mixed some of the tattoo calligraphy style with the banner, which all poke out a whole lot better once whatchamacallit, once I get it more rendered out, get the color in there. Right now this is still all just a sketch. Probably been working on it for like 3-4 streams, just touch and go. But thank you, man. You know, you gotta get creative. How you doing? Have you seen my senpai? Man, have you seen my senpai? I ain't seen her in a hot minute. You know, I had a senpai taught me everything about the convention scene back when conventions were a thing. And yeah, man, I saw her every convention I went to. That girl never stopped. And I always caught up with her. I always talked to her, man. She stayed dropping jewels on me. And then whole world just got fucked up like that. So now I don't go to no more conventions. I don't get to see my senpai no more. Sad story. Sad story. Wait, did I not? I didn't start the timer. Look at me. Cheating. Yeah, at least I caught it soon enough. It'll be our little secret. Yeah, actually, I'm a tattoo artist in Florida. Florida license, baby. Why, you into tattoos? Always wanted one. How come you haven't gotten one? I got my first tattoo when I was 17, and that was only because I couldn't get it when I was 16, because nobody wanted to tattoo a 16-year-old. I couldn't wait. Of a dragon with skulls? That's funny, man. I got a giant dragon tattoo, and I got some skull tattoos. I got this Japanese tattoo artist to do my I found him at a convention one day, at a convention, and he didn't speak a lick of English, but he had the best portfolio I ever seen in my life. His portfolio didn't even have tattoos in it. It was all just drawings and sketches, like pencil and ink. But you could just tell by his sketches that this man was a beast. And then so I met him there, and wasn't really much to say because we couldn't speak really to one another, but he had a girl there translating for him, and he said he was going to be coming back to Fort Lauderdale soon, so that when he does, he wants to he could tattoo me then. So I had to save up some money. It cost me like a G, and I got this big old dragon tattoo. Couldn't let the man go, man. So yeah, it was funny. When he was tattooing me, the man didn't even know how to say the word fire. And he was, all he did was draw the stencil, and then he hand drew the rest, the whole body and everything else on me. And then when he was trying to ask me if I wanted fire in the tattoo, he was like, "Paya, paya." I said, I don't know what you're saying, bro. I said, what you trying to say? And then he started drawing it. I said, oh, fire. Yeah. I said, give me all the fire, man. And yeah, man, that was like an 8-hour day. So yeah, I love me some dragon tattoos, yo. You should definitely get one. And then I got some skulls. I drew this picture. I'll draw it real quick. Let me just off here to the side, I guess. Let me pause the timer. Oh, did I not even? I gotta take another picture. So I drew some skulls and just real loose the concept, because I thought I was smart. Was I had these 4 eyes, and then I had the nose, and it was kind of like, oh, look at me messing up already. So it's kind of like 3 heads stuck together, all displaying different emotions. And one, you know, the one in the middle was like this way, and then one over here was sad, and then the other one was like smiling, cheesing or something. And because I drew it when I was still just a kid, I had like a tongue sticking out the bottom, and then like a skull crown on it, something like that. And then you know, like a little bit of fire. So I drew something like that, and that's like on the back of my neck with a blue flame. Yeah, now that one would be tricky unless you have a Japanese family. I don't know if like the language translates, you know? Like I don't have any like foreign languages on me. Just because, you know, you never know what it's saying. You don't know if it's saying the right thing or not. So yeah, you know, because I watch a lot of anime. The translation from Japanese to English is, you know, it's not 1 for 1. Let me take a picture of this real quick. So what's holding you back from getting a tattoo? Just haven't found the right artist, the age, or you know, I guess there could be a whole lot of reasons why. Could be money, age, could be a job, could be your family. There we go. Looking for an artist? Yeah, that's smart, man. Don't rush into it. I rushed into it, man. You know, I wanted to get the I got an apprenticeship. You know, like I said, I started looking for a tattoo when I was 16. I found a guy when I was 17 who was like crazy enough to do it. And he wasn't the best artist, but like I said, man, I just wanted to get one no matter what. So yeah, that's cool. Find the right artist, especially if you want like Dragon and Skulls. If you got money like that, you should try. You should find the Japanese artist who did mine. His English has gotten better over the years. His name is what's his name? I know it's Yutaka, but you have to, you're not gonna find him with just Yutaka. Uh, yeah, give me a minute and I'll find his name. But if you got money like that, that man's always traveling. I don't know about these days. And yeah, if you want a dragon, I don't know if you want like a Celtic dragon or a Japanese dragon or just like, English type of dragon, like Game of Thrones style. But if you're looking for Japanese style, man, get yourself a Japanese artist or at least an artist who like can kind of specialize in it. There we go. I hate it when this happens. Takes the picture sideways. Alright. So yeah, I rushed into it. I started early. Not that I hate any of my tattoo. I don't hate any of them. I don't think any of them are whack or nothing like that. I mean, I was fortunate enough to at least like like my designs that I was doing. Um, the only one I didn't design was that dragon, but I still sent the man a drawing of mine for a reference. So like, are you an artist? Traditional, nice. Oh yeah, keep it alive, man. What do you like to do? You do like paints or pencils, inks, markers? Tried pencil, ink, alcohol markers. Okay. Hell yeah. See, I got this is a new sketchbook, so I don't have too much in here. But like this is just like a sketch from, I don't know, a week or two ago. Some fan art. So you can see like pencils and then markers. Let me see if I can get the far end of this page in. So you can see some more pencil stuff and marker stuff. So yeah, I dig it, man. Keep at it. Yeah, stuff like this. So when you say you tried them, are you gonna continue to try them, or kind of what's your goal with art and all that? You know, just curious. Hell yeah, man. I love it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the same thing. You know, I really admire, you know, the Japanese manga way. Uh, you know, I haven't like researched it or looked too much into it, but from the little understanding that I have of it, you know, is you have an artist who, and they create a story, they tell a story. Um, and if, you know, the manga proves to be, you know, popular and things like that, they you know, they bump them up to anime, which I love because you never know who's gonna get it. You know what I mean? It's like if your story's hot and people love it, you might catch an anime deal. And the fact that you could just be a regular artist doing that, I think it's super dope. You know, it's not like American comics. Not that it's a bad thing or anything, but American comics, you work for a company. It's you work as part of a team, and then the popularity comes from like the team ups. You know, teaming up a certain artist with a certain writer. Where mangakas, they're the writer and the artist together. So it, you know, it doesn't work exactly that way in America. So we don't really have too many people like that. There are some artists who write their own stories, of course, but they're usually established at that point, you know. But I admire it a lot. So that's actually exactly what I'm trying to do here, like on this channel and with the stream and you know the direction that I'm trying to go is to be a self-sufficient artist and kind of be able to survive and take care of my family just through my art. And I have a whole story written out. That's going to be the most important part. If that's what you want to do, is get good at writing. Whether you like to hear that or not, because I know I certainly sucked at writing and never thought about it and never cared about it. And I got a degree in animation, and then I learned like, oh wait, everything about animation is story, and story is the one thing that I suck at. So I've been going on this odyssey to tell a story, and I finally, after like years, I finally got a story to tell. Characters and a world and all this other stuff. That's actually what this is a part of. This is actually my first attempt at doing an environment for this world and story that I'm working on. This is just a small, piece of the map. So what I plan on doing is doing the environments and then zooming in on certain parts, and then like getting better concept art done for the like little towns and villages and all this stuff that's going on here, and then doing the characters that are a part of this part of the world, and then moving on to like the next part. So I'm kind of creating everything, and I'm doing it all at once. And I'm just going to build this world up, and then once the world's built, I already have the story written, and it'll just be me going kind of mangaka style and just drawing the comic book, drawing the manga out and telling this story, and the world's already built and the characters already done. I do like the older versions of comics, like the 1960s, 90s Marvel DC comics. I like the art style. Yeah, they're a bit bolder and a little more clear. Is that what you're kind of referring to? Like the whole Jack Kirby and whoever else was out there. I can't think of the names at the moment. Yeah, I kind of like all the styles. It was with manga that I learned, like, oh snap, you can actually draw like a whole lot of detail. All right, so let me check something real quick. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I gotta take 4 more pictures, post it, and then I'll continue drawing. So let's go. Yeah, developing a story is hard. The best clue I can give, or the best like piece of advice, not that I should be am anybody who, should be given advice, but is tell your story. That's all I did when I started writing a story. I tried telling a story, just like any old story, just kind of making it up and telling the things that I like and blah, blah, blah. And then I started drawing characters a couple years ago. And then I went to a convention and I showed somebody my characters. and one person looked at one of my characters and said, "Holy shit, this guy looks just like you." And I stepped back for a second and was like, "Huh, really?" And then at that moment, it kind of struck me like, oh, and it happened to be the main character of my story that he said looked like me. I was like, oh, that's what I gotta do. I gotta tell my story. So now I'm telling my story, but it's through the lens and filter of this character that I created. And then it became a little bit easier to write because I was able to relate to the story, so I could tell it a lot easier because, you know your story. I know my story. Now you don't need to tell it exactly like how your life played out. You don't have to tell a autobiography, but you can for sure uh kind of tailor it around your life. And that might be the best way to do it, because once I started relating characters, that character to me, and I know that character's best friend and da 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 da, and that character's father, and all of a sudden everything started clicking a little bit more. And it's like, oh, okay, now I just need to kind of focus on the relationships that I've had with people over the years. And then those can be the relationships that your main character has with all the other characters in that world. So yeah, writing is difficult, but as soon as that guy told me that, it just clicked. It just clicked, and then it was like full speed ahead. And yeah, is so far so good. Oh man, I haven't even been showing the part that I've been working on. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, you could always tell me to correct the positioning of the sketchbook or anything like that if you can't see what I'm working on. Kind of defeats the purpose, right? Okay, so I gotta take now 3 more pictures. So I had to have some real coming to Jesus moments when I was trying to think of relate my main character's story to my life, but filtered through the lens of this make-believe world that I created. It's kind of therapeutic, actually. Any traumas or anything that you may have, or bad feelings, or just bad things that happen in general. It gives your character something to conquer, and then as you work on it, you kind of come to terms with it, with your own trauma yourself. It's pretty cool. So that's what I would say about writing. It's super difficult, but it can be done. And I would say start with yourself. You know, think about all the good times and the bad times, because your characters, they need to they need to have some adversity. You know, think about the times that you did something good, the times that you did something bad, if you have regrets. You know, once you're writing them down on paper and you're like, oh man, my character has to overcome this. It's like, how's he gonna do that? And it's like, well, how would you do it? Or how did you do it? Or, you know, things like that. It's cool. You know, some of the top manga. I was listening to, I don't know if it was Akira Toriyama or if it was Katsuhiro Otomo, but I was listening to one of them on an interview a while back, you know, because they old. But he told the interviewer asked a question about, like, you know, what advice would you give artists, you know, or somebody who wants to make movies or make a show or make something big like they made. You know, of course, the creator of Dragon Ball, and unless it was the artist who created Akira. So, you know, he was kind of a big deal. And what his answer was, write. Paper and pencil is cheap. It's the cheapest materials that you can have, and you can write a story. And as long as you can write a story, you know, you have something. You know, that was the thing that I never had. I never had a story to tell with my art. And once I realized that, I was like, you know what? I got to go write a story. And just like how I figured out how to do pencils and inks and markers and airbrushing and tattooing and animation and comic books, just like I figured out how to do all that stuff, I said, I got to figure out how to write. And then it just hit me. And, you know, that's just the way it goes. So I'm sure you'll figure it out, man. I'm sure you have a story you can tell. Back off the screen again. I wanted to make a story like Banana Fish. I like the concept of the show, and I would like to create something like that. What is Banana Fish? I'm gonna have to let me write that down. That sounds interesting. Banana Fish. I'll look that up later on, man. What 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 is Banana Fish? It sounds like that art team, Ghost Shrimp, who were the style inspiration for Adventure Time. Ghost sh- Ghost Shrimp, banana fish. Banana fish. That sounds dope. Sideways picture. All right. Let's see. Where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So I got one more picture to take, and then I'm gonna post it. It's an anime show about two teenage boys growing up in a gang household, and they go through a lot of struggles in the story. Makes sense. Yeah, that's a classic tale. It's like sounds like those old stories I used to read. What was it, when I was in sixth grade? The reading teacher made everyone read it. You probably read it yourself. Like, I think everybody reads it. It's a story called what's it called? Uh, Not Rumble in the Bronx. Is it Rumble? No, it's not Rumble. I was thinking about Jackie Chan earlier. Uh, uh, I'm thinking of Rumblefish, which is another one of the movies and stories that author wrote and got a movie made out of it. But that's not the one I'm thinking about. The main one is Stay Golden, Pony Boy. That movie, that book. The author S.C. Hinton wrote Tex, Rumblefish. Uh, that was then, this is now. Either way, that author, I can't believe that movie and book, because they had like Ralph Macchio in it, and one of the Emilio Estevez, I think, was in it. What's his name? They had a bunch of big actors in it. Tom Cruise might have been in it. Might have been one of Tom Cruise's first movies, honestly. Shit, what the hell? I'm gonna look this up right now. Hold on. This movie cannot. S.E. Hinton. That's what she looked like? The Outsiders. Yeah. Damn, 1967. Yeah, so that's the author. And she went with the name S.E. Hinton because it sounded more like a man's name. And so people wouldn't know that she was a girl, or else people wouldn't have bought her books. But S.E. Hinton, if I just write Hinton, The Outsiders. Yeah. Dude, if you never read S.E. Hinton books, check them out. Good stories. The Outsiders is classic. Like I said, let me see. Emilio Estevez, looking young. Tom Cruise, back when he had jacked up teeth. Goddamn, I think, who's that? Patrick Swayze? Matt Dillon? Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid himself. He played the main character. I forget who these two are. That might be what's his face. But either way, they had all the actors in there, man. Look at Tom Cruise. I don't know if you ever read that book or saw the movie. Obviously, just like any other time, the movie doesn't do the book justice. But I would say give them both a try if you haven't. But S.E. Hinton, her books are good, especially The Outsiders. It's about, these it's where these guys were known as greasers, and then they would fight gangsters, another gang of these preppy boys called socias, because they were socialites, or social guys. They were like the rich preppy boys. So they were part of like the social club, so they called them socias. And then these guys were the greasers who worked on cars and, didn't have all the money and all that other stuff. Super dope. But yeah, same thing. It's about hard times. Ralph Macchio plays the main character. His name's Pony Boy. He got older brothers. I think it's Estevez and Swayze are his older brothers. I could be wrong, or maybe it was this guy. I'm forgetting his name. And Swayze. Either way, it's about, three of these guys are brothers in here, and Pony Boy is the youngest, and he's the main character. It's about him growing up in that gang life, and it's tough, and this and that, and, there's fights and romance and all this other stuff. It is really good, man. Check it out. And then another one of Hinton's books that's really good, that's right up that alley, is Rumblefish. They also made a movie of this one. I seen it once, but I don't really remember it. I had this book. I can't believe, I don't know what happened to him. I had him so long ago. But Rumblefish, this is another good one. This is about two guys, same thing, leather jackets, smoking, playing pool holes, all that stuff. And they kind of split up. One goes, they're both bad boys, but one of them is like, nah, I want to do right. I want to get better. Like, I think he falls in love, and the girl starts teaching him how to be a better person. And look, I think that's Matt Dillon playing the character again. And then he had a friend, his best friend, on the cover here with him, who was like the bad guy, who ended up going to prison and getting worse and this, that, and the other. Oh no, I'm fucking up the story. That was then, this is now. I forget what Rumblefish was about, but this was a good one. It was another one. It was a little bit more violent and crazy. It was probably the craziest gangster, like street street thug type story that she wrote. So definitely check this one out, especially since it sounds a lot like the Banana Fish joint. I'll definitely check out that. And then, yeah, the story I was just explaining was That Was Then, This Is Now. I think they might have made a movie of this one too, but I'm not sure. That Was Then, This Is Now. And I had this book too, right here. And yeah, he's the main character. I think he meets this girl, and then, that's his best friend. And he tries to, like, get out of the bad boy life with her. And then his best friend ends up going to prison for some stuff that they did. Classic stories. And then the friend gets worse while he becomes a better person. And then the friend gets out of prison. And then, they have their hard times. Where, it's like when you bump into a friend you haven't seen in 10 years. And you realize, like, oh, we're not best friends anymore. Like, we're two totally different people. I had that experience myself. Like, it was wild. I tried to rekindle the friendship. He was my best friend, and he, it was one of those that was then, this is now sort of scenarios where we both just kind of, we took different routes. But this was another good one. It's not as crazy as Rumblefish, maybe not as crazy as The Outsiders, but it's definitely a good story about, obviously these three characters. So yeah, S.E. Hinton. That Was Then, This Is Now, The Outsiders, and Rumblefish. Check those out. She wrote other books. I read Tex and all that stuff, but Tex was more of like, it was more like a chick movie. Tex played like this like hot little boy on a ranch who was like a bad boy, but then he was living on a ranch, so he wasn't really a bad boy no more. And then his chick was checking him out. Look at it, Matt Dillon playing Tex too. Matt Dillon was in all Homegirls movies back in the day. That's how Homeboy made a name. Look at Matt Dillon standing there looking sexy. But yeah, Tex was another one. It was a good one. I liked it, but it wasn't as like crazy as the other stories. So I don't know. So yeah, you can get those kind of to help feed your ideas, so you can see what kind of stories are out there. And like I said, pull from your own life. Oh, did I take a picture of this, the latest and greatest? I believe so. I got it. What I gotta do? I gotta take one more. Man, did I take a picture? I gotta make sure. Yeah. Oh well, even if I didn't. Start the timer. Let's go back. Like these, but in the manga version. Yeah, exactly, man. Make it more crazy. Throw some tentacles in there. Throw a few nanis in there. Yeah, where they shooting fireballs at each other. Fuck yeah, man. Do it. You can do it, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Shit. The stories that I'm writing, the characters in there, they ain't no slouches. You know, so once I start telling that story, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get around to it. But yeah, that's why I'm doing all this. You know, trying to let people know, hey, I could draw, I could do all this stuff. So I'm trying to go the mangaka route, and create everything, and you know, try to make a living out of it. That way, all I have to do is sit down, draw, work on my story. You know, just draw everything out, and it just draw for the rest of my life, man. Like Oda. Been telling that One Piece story his whole life. If I can get on that level, that'd be, yeah, that'd be aces right there, man. Where would I be able to watch or catch up on this manga or banana fish joint? Is it a manga? Is it an anime? Is it on Crunchyroll? Is it on Netflix? Or is it just like on YouTube? Yeah, cause I'm gonna be here for like another couple hours, but you know, once I'm done, I might, you know, put that on tonight if I can. You know, that sort of theme. I saw recently in an animation on Netflix, and is based off of a comic book called Motherfuckers, but it's spelled MFKZ. It's a manga and anime. Okay. Okay, so I'll just look it up then. It's gotta be popping. You should watch the anime, Gangsta. I did watch Gangsta. I watched like the first few episodes, and then I stopped. And I can't remember what happened after that. I may have to pick that one back up because I remember hearing about it like after I stopped. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. So I was like, I gotta go back and check it out because I think I got like a few episodes in. Does it get better? Like after the first, let's say, 4 episodes or so? But yeah, Gangsta was cool. I was trying to get into it, but it was like, you know, a couple years ago or a few years ago. It was like when it was first coming out. And who knows what I was doing back then. I don't remember why I stopped watching it. Yeah, forgive me while I do all this lame background work to get this post out. Behind the scenes. And how big is this again? 8.5 by 13. Damn, where'd I leave off this morning? I leave off at 90 minutes? Or did I leave off at 2 hours? I think I left off at 2 hours. Oh well. So I'll just call this 2.5 hours. Alright, that's it with the posting. Enough posting. Yeah, we all here to draw, man. Alright. Jinzel Karaoka. She created the manga Smokin' Parade. I just like the story and the artwork. That was the first manga you enjoyed? And is a female artist too, huh? Hold on, I'm gonna check these out right now just to get a look. Banana fish, for one. I just want to see it. Okay. I see. I see. And then smoking parade. Oh, now this looks dope. Yeah, I like this style too. Why does it look familiar to me? Yeah, that's a dope style, man. "208 pages, released 2017. Damn. They turned Smoking Parade into an anime too? I see a lot of manga stuff. It looks familiar to me, man. Why is it? I know for sure I never read or seen this before, but the way they look, it looks familiar, like Gunsword or something like that. I like it though. I like the style, man. She look like Darling in the Franxx. Jinsei Karaoka. Jinsei Kataoka. Okay. Alright, I see you, girl. That's so much. Dead Man Wonderland. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now it makes sense. I was like, God damn, where have I seen this before? Dead Man Wonderland. It's, yeah. The style is right there. Dope, man. I didn't know Dead Man Wonderland was written by a girl. EX16. She did EX16 too. Now that was one of my favorite joints, man. I could still remember watching uh the first episode of EX7 when Homeboy's surfing in the air. I lost my mind when I was a kid. It's only a manga. I may have to catch that. They'll probably. I mean, if she got EX7, which is classic, and she got Dead Man Wonderland, which was a hit, I'm sure they'll make an anime out of this Smoking Parade. I mean, she definitely knows what she's doing. You know, she definitely knows how to tell story. Wow. But yeah, I could even remember Dead Man Wonderland. I was on vacation when that show premiered on Toonami, and I was at my uncle's place, and I had to stay up till like midnight or something like that to watch it. And I remember, tripping over that, using blood to fight and all that stuff. It's dope, man. This lady dope. I never paid attention to her name. I'm ashamed to say. Yeah, maybe this is what I do, man. Maybe I. So smoking parade's that good, huh? Because if it is, I might just have to cop if they have like English, the English version of the manga. I'll probably have to go check that out. But see, this is what I love, man. You write a dope story, you get it drawn or you draw it yourself, and then if it's a hit, you could just live. You could just do that day in and day out and work on your shit. That's what I'm saying. If when you work on a manga, you write a story, make sure you love that thing from top to bottom, because that's gonna be the thing that you work on day in, day out. All right, let me get back on this. There we go. You know, the story that I'm working on has everything I've ever wanted to work on, you know? I tried getting jobs with these companies and I couldn't find work with them. And you know, there's all these, we all want to work on a Batman story, we all want to work on, you know, an X-Men story. Oh, if only I could, you know? So I just got tired, you know, of getting told no by these companies. And you know, that's what's inspired me to go off and write a story. So all those stories that I didn't get to work on, all those characters I didn't get to play with, all those all those wishes that never came true, you know, I can't wait anymore. So I went out, I wrote my own story, I have my own characters, I created my own world. It's super dope. And now I'm out here, you know, live streaming, trying to keep it together. You know, so I got a website. I opened up a merch store, a couple merch stores, but only one of them has stuff on it. Trying to do everything to make myself self-sufficient so I could take care of my family. And then once I get that going, like, it's gonna be all steam ahead on just writing that story. And I promise, it's fire. So yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for telling me about that. You know, I don't have too much time to like watch stuff these days, especially you know, animes with subtitles, just because I have to like stop and read. If they're in English, I could at least put them on in the background, which I think Gangsta is. You know, it's been out for a few years. It's probably they probably got the English version on Crunchyroll. I could probably pop that on. And you know, Eureka 7, I watched that probably 2-3 times all the way through. Uh, Dead Man Wonderland, I've watched it. I watched the Japanese version. I watched the subtitle version once, and then the dub version once. So yeah, you might have made a new fan out of me, man. I might go out and if I can, go get her book if it's in English, and try to read up on it before they make the anime. That'd be super dope. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Since I'm starting new, I'm going to just draw a big ol' start. Okay, cool. I have a friend that makes manga. She actually works on a story called Save Delta on Webtoon. She really inspired me to try hard because when I met her, I was having a hard time with drawing and I was kind of depressed about my work. But she encouraged me to try harder. For sure, man. For sure. That's a friend to keep. That's a friend to keep, man. That's awesome that you got that. And never get down on your work, man. You know, I get down on my work sometimes too, man. But like, you gotta know, like, oh yeah, this is just a fleeting moment. Just remember you're drawing for a reason. And regardless of what is coming out, like this picture that I'm working on now, this is just the picture I use to warm up, because what I really want to work on is this, but I get nervous to work on this to mess it up because, you know, this isn't digital, so I can't just hit Control Z. So I do these side projects for myself to warm up, loosen up, get good, get confident, and then, you know, I'll probably spend another hour on this, and then I'll jump on this for a little bit. And then by the time I'm on this, like, you know, my hand is good and everything like that, I could at least be confident in what I'm gonna be doing. You know, instead of starting cold. But yeah, don't get down on your work. Honestly, it really doesn't matter what you draw like. You know, it's not always the best of the best of the best that are only getting the work. Like, they definitely get work. But like, you never know who's gonna get what. You know, think about the One Punch Man and the original artwork for that. Like, I don't want to say it was bad, but you know, a lot of people like to point out that, you know, the quality wasn't quite there, and that the anime really the anime really you know, did it a favor. especially if you look at the beginning. I never read too many mangas, unfortunately, but when Demon Slayer was coming out, I eventually went from watching the anime and I couldn't get enough of the anime, and then I found a means to read the manga, and Demon Slayer and One Piece are the only mangas that I read. Well, Demon Slayer read because it's over, but I was surprised to see that the art is really good in Demon Slayer. Like, don't get me wrong, but the anime is definitely like giving it an alley-oop, so to speak. There's just like some panels where you look at it and I'm like, ooh, the eyes look kind of buggy, or ooh, like this or that. The art style really doesn't matter. It's the story. It's the story that people care about. That's going to be the thing that, is going to resonate with people. I'm sure there's people out there who can make you feel something and they just draw stick figures. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove a point, not even because they trying to be jokey with it, just to prove a point of like, it's a story. One Punch Man is great because of the story. Demon Slayer was great because of the story. So yeah, never get down on your art. Anytime you're feeling a way about it, just go get some air or something. Remind yourself why you're doing it. Think about all the mistakes or whack shit that you did in the past. Think about how much you don't care about those anymore. That was a big thing for me. After I sat back, after I've been drawing for over 20 years. After I realized I've made a million mistakes. But they don't define what I do. I have a million whack pictures out there, but I just continue to get better. That's it. You almost have to welcome mistakes, and you almost have to welcome the ugly work, because you're gonna finish it. You're gonna finish that work, and then you're gonna move on to the next thing, and you're gonna say, I ain't never doing that again. Whatever is like whack or whatever. I hope you let that artist friend know how much she's helped. It's like how I was saying with your name, when I was like, oh, have you seen my senpai? That wasn't a joke, man. I had a girl who I just ran into one day at a free comic book day. We had a small table. We were sitting next to each other, and I saw how she was handling the work. And I was just messing around, you know, that was like my third event. I didn't know what I was doing. And then she just dropped jewel after jewel. I just watched her, saw how she moved and operated, and I was just like, yo, how, you know, how she's so good at this, you know, at the whole convention thing. And then she started teaching me. She probably didn't even realize it. And I really do call her senpai. I don't know if she if she hates that or not. She's never said anything. But yeah, man, don't ever hesitate to like thank people. That's super dope. And I mean, since you have a friend who does it, man, they can you can learn from them. You know, I didn't have anybody to help me create this show or create this story or write this story, or, you know, I had to teach myself this stuff, and I'm still learning it. I still study environment stuff, and that's why I'm able to work on that environment with a little bit of confidence, because it's like, okay, I could draw, I could do some stuff. So now I just need to apply this to the environment, and then it's like, oh, how the hell do I draw a tree? And then you draw a tree and it's whack, and you're like, I hate this. But you got to move through that shit, you know. Like I said, that environment that's on the other side of this paper right now that I'm be working on later on tonight. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I struggle. My hand is not confident when it's like, okay, what color am I gonna make these trees? What color am I gonna make these mountains? Because I know once I apply that pencil, once I apply that marker or that ink, there's no redo. And I got like 10 more of them to do before the year's up. So yeah, keep at it, man. Don't stop. Are you drawing along like tonight? Like while I'm rambling? And won't shut up? You know, that's kind of what I would hope to do is, you know, I do fitness motivation on my Instagram, and it's exciting to see people get inspired and motivated to do stuff, and they'll tell me like, oh my god, I'm so inspired to exercise, you know, thank you. And then it lights a fire in me to keep doing that. So what I'm hoping to do with this channel is to, you know, inspire other artists. You know, the world is changing, man. It's I miss doing conventions. I miss being on the road and traveling and meeting strangers from, you know, who knows where. Ah, shit. I forgot to set the timer. That was probably 3 minutes since I took a picture. Here, let me do this. All right. Well, damn, man. It looks like I'm gonna need to get my colored pencils out. Cause I am done shading this. For the most part. Oi. Oh yeah, I said at the beginning of this that I was going to work on the halo. That's what I gotta do. I know you can't see the real light sketch behind him, but there's a halo behind Homeboy's head. So I wanted to try to find a nice halo. But I know if I research Halo, I'm gonna get the video game, of course. So what do I gotta do? Like Angel Halo or something? Yeah, but I don't want these little little hula hoops. I want a dope Halo. There we go. So I'm just going through, like I'm looking at this joint here. Ooh, you know what? I wonder if there's like a Celtic Halo. Oh shit. Oh shit. I think we have ourselves a winner. Winner, winner. Alright, so I gotta pick one of these. I'll probably go with this one right here. There we go. So I'm still there. Alright. So yeah. Alright, so if this is the outside, and this is about halfway through, so it'll probably end somewhere around here. And if the middle point is right where his eyes are, okay, cool. It's gonna go over, but under there. Man, Celtic designs are so... Oh yeah, so if it's there, so probably... So it's under, and that's over. What's this thing doing? It's going under. And then same thing on that side, except the opposite. So this will be going over. And this one will be going under. That'll be going under here. It's going under here. Oh yeah, let me take this picture. Alright, so 2, 3, 4. Alright. Yeah, Halo shouldn't take too long. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just some background noise. My gamer? I used to be. Not anymore. I wish, man. You know, I tell myself once I'm able to play a video game again, I know that's when I'll have made it, that I'll have time to play. I had to make a conscious decision, and this is before the PS4 was released. I made a conscious decision of like, I can't play video games anymore in order to pursue like art. So after my PS3 died on me, I just never went out and bought another game console again. So I still have a Nintendo Wii. This is before the Wii U came out. And then my brother gave me a Nintendo Switch that I haven't played yet. And then I think I still have like a Game Boy Advance, but I might have gave that away. So I'm a gamer at heart. And I still watch a lot of YouTubers play. Like I watch Maximilian Dude on YouTube. I watch him on Twitch. That's the whole reason why I found Twitch was with Maximilian Dude. But I watch the Rad Brad. MK, Ice and Fire. Damn, who else? There's some other ones. Just channels that I watch, like them play video games. And you know, I keep up with the news and all that stuff. And I'm always interested in what's happening in the game world. I try to get jobs working for these gaming companies, and they never hire me. So it's like, you know. What about you? Are you a gamer? I mean, I'm guessing, you know, it kind of hit me. I was like, oh, you know what? This is Twitch. Like, everyone on here is going to be a gamer for the most part, you know? So, I'm guessing you're a gamer. You play like Dragon Ball Fighters or something? Or anything like that? Yeah, I exited the video game world long time ago. It broke my heart. But I have so much more time to dedicate to art, which is the whole reason why I did it in the first place, you know? Once I realized how much work I need to do, I think it was probably when I realized, like, oh shit, I need to write a story. I don't know how to write. Like, as soon as that hit me, all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll learn how to write. I'll start. I'll study that on top of the million other things that I'm studying. So this. Dragon Ball Fighters and Jump Force. I was gonna ask about Jump Force too. I didn't want to make assumptions. I was like, don't start naming like One Piece, Whole World or One World, whatever it's called, and all the anime games. I was like, don't make assumptions. But I was gonna ask. I was like, that's cool, man. Yeah, I've been watching Maximilian dude play uh, Dragon Ball Fighters for a bit now. That seems to be his latest kick. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Fighters looks super dope. It's actually the reason why I did these sketches here was when they released Baby or Super Baby 2 on Fighters when his character got released or announced or whatever it was. I said, "Yo, like it's been a hot minute since I drew Dragon Ball Z. Like let me do this." So I did a stream. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I did these in memory of that. And then I heard they still have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that's coming out in like the next couple of months. So maybe I'll do a Super Saiyan 4 SS4 Gogeta sketch when that happens. You know, I love Dragon Ball, man. So any excuse I get to draw it, I'll take it. And Jump Force is the fighting game, the one where you can play from any. You could be like Ichigo, or you could be Luffy, or you could be Naruto. It's that fighter, right? The kind of the Smash anime. Yeah. Okay. I think my brother plays that one. I think so. Yeah, the last video games I was playing, just to kind of put a timer on it, and you can see how long I've been out of the mix. Damn, what were the last games I was playing? Like I was Metal Gear 4, but I was like on my third playthrough when my PS3 crashed on me, and I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 arcade edition that I had just gotten for Christmas. You know, the Christmas before. You know, so I was playing those games, and I was playing less and less of them, and then my PS3 crashed. You know, and I had already had it for a few years, so I was just like, you know what? I think this is it. I think my video game career is down the drain. Then the only time I would play video games after that is if my brother and I, we played Gears of War, because you could play two-player co-op without online. Like you could just play the game two-player. That'd probably be the only time that I played. And the last Gears of War that we played together was Gears 3. You know, and then he moved. So then I can't even play that with him no more. You know, that was always cool, because it like kind of kept me into gaming a bit. And then what was I playing on the Wii? I had like the Super Mario Wii, and never beat it. I still have it. It works. I just don't have it set up. And then Zelda Twilight Princess, which I'm pretty sure I was like kind of far in. But I don't think I ever beat that game either. I might have, though. I can't remember. So yeah, I'm like naming off like ancient titles, right? Cyberpunk. Yeah, Cyberpunk. I mean, I've seen all the I've seen everything about it. It's a bit of a letdown, man. I don't blame you. Yeah, it sucks when something that was so anticipated doesn't pan out. I mean, I remember the trailer coming out when I was working at I think I was interning um, at a company, and I think I even remember the trailer back then. You know, the initial trailer that dropped back in like 2012 or some shit. So for that game to have, you know, waited that long to come out, and then it came out the way that it did, yeah. You know, lessons will be learned, and everybody will move on. All right. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7. All right, so I got 3 more pictures to take. Oh yeah, man. So you sound like my kind of guy. Like, like we kind of almost into the same things. It's super cool, man. You know, I met a few people. I guess this isn't really meeting, but you know what I mean. Like I've chatted with a few people on Twitch, and you know, it's so interesting the type of people that you meet or that you can get online. But I haven't been able to really like, I don't know, I guess like connect or vibe out while I'm pushing out these drawings. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that banana fish and report back. Yeah, what do I need to draw up here? So this one cuts across, and there's probably like maybe this happening. That's under, so the shade will be here. And then, yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, man. Picture number 8. So do you think you have an idea of what kind of story you want to tell? What kind of story you want to work on? Yeah, you may have to, I don't know how much studying you have on your plate already, or how much time you have on your plate. Like, I know you said you had that gangster thing, kind of, or similar to type of story. where does that leave me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I got one more picture to take with this one, and then I'll move on to that environment. You know, despite the game, Cyberpunk's story wasn't all that bad, and you know, everything that they wanted to do. You know, I wonder if they'll be able to make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everything that they wanted to do, what they had planned for that game, sounded super dope. You know, just the business got in the way, as it always will. But I wonder if they'll be able to get it right. Or if they do, if anyone's even going to pay attention. You know, that story was dope. And it could have been like the creator of the world. You know, not the game creator, but the guy who actually worked on the story of the game that inspired CD Projekt Red to make it. You know, that dude, he has like a almost like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, tabletop game. And you know, Cyberpunk has that classic game that it's based off. I think it was like for the regular Nintendo, or maybe the Super Nintendo, a long time ago. But like all of that stuff, like Johnny Silverhand, like he was back in that or his character at least was back in that original setting a long time ago. You know, like the whole lore and the fact that it, you know, the game was in development forever and they had so much time to make it right, no matter what the business side. Like I wonder if a game like that can come back, or what it would take for a game like that to actually achieve everything it wanted to do. Because, you know, going back to story, you know, it was good. Classic cyberpunk genre type story. All right. Yeah, so yesterday I finished up this dragon and I started working on this. And I did some work along the shoreline, but I'm gonna have to actually hit that with some inks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Alright, so I'm done with the timer, I'm done with everything. So now I'm just gonna see if these pencils are sharp. They're sharpish. I might have to hit them with a sharpener. And then, yeah, I'll go sharpen these right quick. Alright. So what time is this? It's gotta be like, oh shit, it's already 9. Alright, so I'm at least gonna get about an hour in today. Yeah, see, I was always more of a character artist. You know, growing up, I was always into Dragon Ball Z, of course. So I started drawing those characters back, you know, when Toonami was airing them. And I was a little kid. And then, yeah, so characters have always been my thing. And just like how, you know, I have a story I want to tell, but I'm not a writer, but I wrote enough, you know, that's good enough for me. My end goal is to animate it. So between now and me animating it, I was like, you know what, I got enough time. So let me just write what I need to write for now. And then once I start putting the comic together for it, that's when I'll really, you know, figure out the story and everything. Like, I got all the footnotes. So just like I had to teach myself writing, I had to teach myself these environment art. And this is just a kind of like a map. You know, it's not so much an environment piece as much as it's like kind of like a map with legends on it. And so, alright. Hey, so if you're into doing traditional art, I had a high school teacher, and contrary to most people's high school teacher experience, I had a art teacher who made us do this assignment every day before we got to start our work, which means you would have to do a certain task before you can get your work done, and you had to get your work done if you wanted to pass. And she made us do this color pencil practice every single day, or every single school day, so 5 days a week. And I promise, if that didn't make me the best goddamn pencil color pencil artist that I know, like, essentially what the assignment was, and I would, implore anybody who wants to do traditional art and does want to use color pencils, I implore you to do this practice. And I mean, I did it for a year, 5 days a week for a year. Just to give you some perspective on the type of help that it gave, or how much time I put into it in order. The assignment or the task that she would give us is you would make a you would draw out a rectangle 1 inch by 4 inch, and then you would make a gradient bar. You'd grab any color pencil, any color, and you would make a gradient bar out of that 1 inch by 4 inch piece. So, for instance, pretend I have a ruler, and pretend that's 1 inch, pretend that's 4 inches, and I just drew out a 1 inch by 4 inch rectangle with a ruler. And then you'd grab any old color pencil. I'll just take the one that I've been using since it's dull already, and I'll end up sharpening it. And you'd start at one end, and then you'd have to gradate it and lighten it up to the point where it was almost nothing at the end. But you couldn't just do that. You'd actually have to tighten it up around the edges. Like, you'd have to make it fit to the rectangle. So even the edges had to be right. So you see how I went up and down? And it didn't touch the edges. Well, it touched the edge a little bit, but it's not like tight. Like, it's mad loose around the edge. You'd have to make it tight, which means you'd have to bring the pencil this way to make it flush against these edges, the top and bottom, which means you bring your pencil left and right now. And now when you bring your pencil left and right, you start filling in the spaces in between here, which means now you're pushing the darkness across the page, but you have to maintain it so that it's like basically white at the very edge here. But you want it completely dark, or as dark as that color can get you. So obviously you don't do yellow. Yeah, I guess you could, but you know, you want to pick like a middle tone, you know, like a regular blue, regular green, regular orange, regular red. Even get a black color pencil if you want. And now this is what happens. You start going left and right so that you could touch up the bottom, and you kind of have to run through the middle, and then you start doing this, right? But then what happens? Because you're focusing on the edge, your edges start to get dark and your middle starts to get light. So you have like a dark edge, dark edge, dark edge, and then it's all fading and it looks alright. But she wouldn't let you start your assignment until you corrected this. So then you'd have to go back and then just try to fill in the middle without touching the edges too much and without messing up the gradation at all. While keeping the entire gradient even all the way down. And remember, it wasn't this small, it was 1 inch by 4 inch, and we would have to do it every single day. Until you had it down right and perfect. Like, even this isn't that good because I have like a little nick here that's like dark, and I'd be like, have to restart, you know, have to go back and do it, or get that nick out of there. But that nick is so dark that I don't think there's any way for me to correct it without making it too dark all the way at this end. Again, it's a simple assignment. Anybody could do it as long as you have a ruler, you know, colored pencils, paper. And you just draw that out and then you fill it in. Do that 5 days a week for a year. Your colored pencils, and then do an assignment after that. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like the practice or the warm up or the whatever. After you do this, then you do whatever it is that you want to do, like start drawing shit. Start drawing shit. And whether you could draw good or not, you sure as hell are gonna learn how to create values and gradations. And not only does this help you with lights and darks, but it helps you with blending colors. So say you had a blue base, and it fades out because it gets light, but whatever you're coloring isn't just blue, it's also like purple or something. So then you go over that. I need to grab some water. Now you can blend colors and apply that same technique. And now all of a sudden, you have a seamless transition between colors. So thanks to that lady, Miss Mark, Deerfield High, and her, beating this into me for a year. I never, my colored pencils never look back. Whew. Okay. Let me sharpen this. To draw this one that I'm working on now. Shit. Let me see. So 3, 4, 5, 8. By the time I'm done tonight, probably 11 hours. You know, just because, like I said, I'm not an environment artist, so I've been kind of slow rolling my way through it. You know, trying to learn how to do it. That way, once I learn and once I figure it out, once I find a groove, like yesterday, after so long, it just hit me. It just clicked, and then I was finally able to like really get into it. But yeah, by the time I'm done tonight, I'll have put 11 hours into this piece. And, you know, it's anywhere from 2/3 to... It's about 2/3 done, I'd say. So if I'm 2/3 of the way through it, I'll probably have like another 5 hours on this before I can move on to zooming in. Yeah, Japanese scenery. That's actually what's inspiring my yeah, let me show you. That's actually what's inspired me to draw this way. Was it Sekiro or was it Ghost of Tsushima? Let me go grab it. I got some art books, and I'm gonna go grab my Ghost of Tsushima art book. So I got this joint, and I believe it's in this one. Beautiful case. Book slides out. It's a beautiful book, and I think it's either the first or last image you see. Oh, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Oh, let me stop this. There we go. It may not be this book then. It might be Sekiro, or maybe it's the last image. Okay. Alright, so it's not this book. A bunch of beautiful things. Oh, and just so... Let me see. You see pictures like this? That kind of show like the actual scenery, like an actual landscape where you can make out the horizon line in it. This is what I'm gonna be doing after I finish the map. So you'll see I have like this whole thing going on, this whole thing going on, this thing going on, and then all of this going on. I'm gonna draw sort of close-up environments similar to like this style. I mean, not necessarily like ruined or anything like that one is, but you know, any shot like this where you could actually see the land and things like that. That way I just give everything that I'm working on in here a little bit more detail, because this is just kind of outlining it, being like, okay, this is kind of the layout of the map. But no, I guess it's in my Sekiro book. Give me a second. Let me go get that. So I got this one. It's not even in English. And since it's in Japanese, this might be the back of the book, and this might be the front of the book, but you know, Japanese, it's backwards. So this might actually be the last page in the book, but check this out. Now this right here, I watched you know, some playthroughs of the game. This map by itself is every level in the game. There's this level, that level, this level, maybe this right here. All this down here is one stage, one stage, one stage. Like, it's a map of everything. It's beautiful. It's beautiful that they took something as big as that, as involved as that, and we're able to break it up. It's like one of those old Mega Man maps from the old, you know, Super Nintendo Mega Man X, when you had a map where every bad guy, and you know, it's something like that, but it's just beautiful. And when I saw this, and I was getting ready to work on environments, I said, you know what? Let me make a map of my world. That way, I could actually work on the environments better, because the map is going to dictate what the environment is. So yeah, this is on the last page of the Sekiro art book. And I mean, they got a bunch of beautiful stuff in here. Actually, let me take this cover off. Yeah, so back of the book, and I guess this is the front of the book, but you know, Japanese. So you see, they kind of zoom in. Some of this stuff is kind of dark. You know, it's a dark game made by some dark people. Dark people. But yeah, beautiful stuff. You know, so this is kind of the stuff I want to do, is like zoom in on the maps and hit certain parts that are kind of relevant to the story. And, you know, you can see the character here, and then all this. So, yeah, that's going to be step 2 for this ice map. And I started with the ice map just because it was the easiest and simplest, so to speak. You know, it had the least amount going on compared to like other places of the map in the world that I'm creating. So I figured, you know, the one that's the least amount of work is going to be like good practice to get started. And then once, like I said, once I get the ball rolling, once I kind of get a good groove, I'll, you know, I'll welcome working on environment stuff. A good artist to find on, you know, who just puts cool videos together and is inspirational and is kind of can point you in right directions and things that you may not be aware of as far as like art and entertainment go, is Lucid Pixel on YouTube. LucidPixel. Lucid Pixel. There's the host of that channel is Adam Duff. He's some Canadian dude. And yeah, look at all this stuff. It's beautiful, right? and then, character stuff. And then, yeah, after I do the environments, then I'm going to do the characters. Because now that I have the environments done and I know how crazy or cool the environments are, I'll I'll jump in on the characters, and then, I already have rough sketches of all my characters. Um, so I kind of already have a direction for them. But once the environment's done, holy shit, look at this. Then I can like really finalize them. Maybe colors or materials or things like that are gonna dictate those sketches that I made a little bit further. But yeah, the last thing that they give you after all that beautiful work is this. And this was the thing that I was like, oh, I know what I got to do now. I know what I got to do. Not that I ever made a map ever in my life. Not that I have any idea of what to do. I know what to do. So yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm a huge fan of those Japanese paintings, the old classics, the Chinese, everything that they did. Even like those old like Edo paintings that they did. You could learn a lot from those. I always found it, interesting how they were able to create depth without, at least in the classic paintings, how they were able to create depth either with just atmosphere or in other paintings that are completely flat, yet they've still created depth. Like the ones that are like super bright and it's like a painting of a koi fish or something. But you could see like the lilies in the pond, and you can see the fish underneath the lilies, but it's all bright and saturated and colorful, and there's like no shadows. It's all flat colors, but you could see the depth in the image, and it's so different from the ones that are like the map that I just showed you, where it's like almost all values, where they're using the lights and the darks to really draw your eye, to let you know what's going on in the scenery. Like I'm right there with you, man. But yeah, check out that Lucid Pixel channel. That guy's he does like art book reviews, or not really reviews, but kind of just flips through them and explains stuff, and then kind of gives you a little insight on the companies. And and just insightful. I mean, it's just one interesting channel. There's a few of them, but he's the one that comes to mind right now. When I said I was like studying things and self-taught on certain things, at least, that's what I mean. Is I went out and I bought all these art books, um, just to study and look at them, and then try to emulate them. Try to see what is going on and how can I do it. And I don't know. I don't think I'll be like nice with it, you know, as I'm working on these maps myself. But as long as I understand it, I think that's all that matters. As long as I can look at these things and know what's happening and what's going on, I think they'll serve their purpose as far as um, you know, them achieving their goals. I'm sure somebody who actually specialized in making maps and environments can look at, you know, what I do or what I'm about to do and be like, yeah, you got a way to go, homie. Like, you didn't even think about this. Or you didn't even think about that. And I'm like, you're right, I didn't think about those things. But yeah, so that Sekiro map map of the entire world was one of the most impressive things I saw in that entire book. Of course, everything is impressive in there. I don't want to make it seem like I don't appreciate all of it. I absolutely do. But that map just seemed to be it was special, or it is special to be able to fit all of that in a way that, you know, even I understood it when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that they did that. And I'll just sit there and stare at that for a while sometimes and be like, yep, they did it. You know, especially if you watch the game and you're like, oh my god, this is all the stages, this is all the levels. They how why how I should probably do some more research and find out who that artist is, and you know, what other works have they done. Like, that's where I start to fumble, is like I'm already doing so much research as it is that I forget to do probably that extra step that, you know, really matters, because I couldn't tell you who painted that or who put that together. I mean, the book is in Japanese. It probably says it in Japanese, so I couldn't tell you anyways, but still. Do watercolor? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you can get those soft colors. Yeah, I work with watercolors as well, but I don't, you know, obviously I'm not gonna do it in a sketchbook. So the sketchbook is just gonna be for you know, pencils and markers. When I was working on some of these, you know, stuff like this, you know, I wasn't sure if these fat markers that I have, or fat brush markers that I have, are gonna like bleed through on the paper, but they didn't. They'll warp it a little bit, but this sketchbook's actually kind of tough. But I don't know if it's going to be able to handle watercolors, so I usually will use, you know, like actual watercolor paper or just thicker paper in general, you know, like a vellum. But yeah, you just have to start doing it, you know, make all the mistakes in the world. You're gonna have to make those mistakes in order to know not to make them. So yeah, what's what's stopping you from doing it? Like I see you saying like you wanted to do it, like past tense. Do you still want to do it, or did you give it up for one reason or another? Yeah. Sounds about right. Dude, I'm struggling right now with all of this. I'm like, I was like, please. I mean, at least this is a dry medium. So like, if I make a mistake, like, you know, it would still suck. But yeah, making a mistake with watercolor, um, you know, you have to like wait for it to dry in order to kind of figure out a way to correct it. Personally, I like to use the watercolors as a base. So I'll kind of, you know, I'll make a sketch or a drawing, and then I'll just like grab a fat brush and watercolor and like just lay down fat colors because it's so translucent, and I'm not like oversaturating it. And then I'll put, you know, color pencils to it, and then color pencils and brushes over the watercolors in order to darken or saturate certain areas more than others. So yeah, the struggle never ends. The struggle never stops. I'm sure even that artist, uh, damn, I already forgot her name. but the one who did Dead Man Wonderland and Smoke Parade and all that, you know, I bet if you find a interview with her or enough of them, I'm sure somewhere along the line she'll admit like, nah, it's a struggle. It ain't easy creating all these dope characters and crazy storylines. And yeah, so don't let the struggle deter you. Just tell yourself before you start, and the struggle continues. And then you just go in. Don't fall in love with the, with the art or the picture that you're working on. You know, you do enough of them, you'll have a million of them. And then you start to learn, like, oh, you love them all. You know, there's no one piece that is, better than the rest. You know, they're all gonna have mistakes. You know, it's adjusting to the mistakes that is really gonna separate. Separate you from the rest. You know, sometimes I'll be working on this stuff and I'll make a mistake. And I'll be like, ah. And then I don't wanna say anything because I don't want to alert anybody to the mistake. But then it's just like, okay, I gotta work with this. I just keep it to myself, don't tell nobody, and then nobody knows nothing. Oh yeah, and just to put something into perspective, like I said, I'll have been working on this for about what I say, like 11 or 13 hours or something like that by the time I'm done tonight. Um, like the one that I was working on beforehand, this one here, I've only worked on this for about 2 to 3 hours. And I'm moving right along with this one. Like I'm just throwing in the shades, and then I'm gonna hit it with color. I know exactly what colors I'm gonna be using. I know exactly how I'm gonna execute them. Uh, all that stuff, and that's with 2 hours of work, and it's pretty much the same size as this picture. So I'll probably have that picture done in half the time, if not less, than this environment. Just to put into perspective of how hesitant I am to, really flex any muscle on this picture, because it's like, ooh, I can make a mistake any second now. I'm kind of in unknown territory. So it's like I keep that Sekiro picture, that Sekiro map picture in my head, and I just use that as my mantra while I work on this. And I'd be like, do it like that. Do it like Sekiro. So yeah, that's what's most interesting about working on this. Being in unknown waters, you know. Um, because what I'm doing right now, when I do the close up of these towns, everything that I'm doing now is kind of dictating what I'm going to do then. Obviously, when I do those, it's going to be more detailed and yada yada, but I can already start to envision those things as I'm working on this. And hopefully, if this turns out any good, I'll have like a little bit of confidence to, you know, work on those and not feel like I'm failing, or that I'm not accomplishing the mission to just create this world. So that when people look at this map and people look at those environments, they'll be like, oh, I see. No, I definitely see that. And I wouldn't even need to tell them. Let me sharpen this pencil. Oh shit, it's already been an hour? How long I've been streaming? I've already been streaming over 3 hours? Shit. I'll stay a little bit longer. You know, if you want to try to get better with watercolors, even before you jump onto the environments, try that practice technique that I was talking about that the my high school teacher gave. You could do that with you know, watercolors, markers. It'd be interesting. You know, you'll get some interesting results trying to figure out how to gradate a marker, because a marker only gives you one flat color. So how can you gradate it? You know, and then that's when the knowledge of stippling and lines and line weight and all that other stuff comes in comes in handy to know and practice and study those. You know, so if you have a ruler and if you have those watercolor paints, just draw, you know, a 1x4, 1 inch by 4 inch rectangle, and then try to create a gradient. You know, grab a color, maybe a color that you won't use as often. You know, I used to get my paints from the dollar store, and I still keep them on hand. You know, these are dollar store watercolors. They're so old, they're dusty. But you can see I used the hell out of yellow, orange, red. But I really didn't use too much purple. So, like that, for instance. You could take that purple that you don't use, hypothetically, and try to create a gradient, and you know, just go dark where it's fully saturated. It's as dark as that color can get, and then try to wash it in, and then figure out how to achieve those gradients. And every time you mess up on one of these, just draw another one, another 1 inch by 4 inch, whatever. I mean, if you think about a regular sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11, you could fit what, like 8 of them or something, 10 of them, 12 of them on a single sheet of paper, and you could just make that your practice paper. And you know, just fill in one of those rectangles right, and if you mess up, try it again on another one until you get it right. And once you get it right, then you're like, your reward, you get to reward yourself by working on an environment, a watercolor environment, and your hand is warmed up. Your confidence in the watercolor is there a little bit, just because you just did this, you know, basic ass rectangle gradient. And then, you know, then it just comes down to, you know, illustrating a mountain, you know, in the Arctic tundra, for instance. And then at that point, you gotta like research what, you know, icy mountains look like. That's what I was doing, you know, a few streams ago when I was drawing this. I was like, what the hell does an icy mountain look like? Like, I know what they look like in my head, but what does it look like for real, for real? And then I researched it, and then I looked at it, and then I used them as a reference while I was drawing these. And I didn't draw any specific set of mountains because this is a make-believe world, so I couldn't just use any old mountain, you know. But as far as the look, I definitely took that. So that's what I would do if I was you. You know, you should definitely, if you want to do art, you want to pursue it. Um, whether it's for yourself or professionally, hopefully one day or something. Um, you're never doing yourself a service by not doing it. Or being I was gonna say dissuaded, but I don't know if that's a word. Um, being unmotivated, I guess. Man, I feel like I could stay here for another 3 hours and work on this. That's the best part about all that. That's the best part about doing art. That'd be the goal for me, man. To just sit here and do this all day, every day. I'd be spending so much time on so much other stuff that just feels pointless when I'm here doing this. But unfortunately, this ain't paying the bills. Yet. But once it is, yeah, I might call this stream at 3.5 hours. So was that like 5 minutes from now? What do I call that? A 5-minute warning? 5-minute warning. guess I still didn't get to the shoreline tonight. I'm gonna have to do that, sharpen all this up. Right now it's just a whole blob of gray. Mixing all those colors together to create that water effect. So tomorrow Friday too. Damn. So yeah, man, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, working on this, working on that. So hope to see you there. Let me see, I got 1 minute left. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Have you seen my senpai? I appreciate you stopping by. That was awesome. It was an awesome little jam session right here. So, once again, just a review. I started all this yesterday and I was like, oh, okay, I think I got something. So I just continued it here and working my way up around these things, and then I'll figure out, I'll do the shoreline. I definitely want to sharpen that up, and then I'll figure out like the trees, and all this isn't going to be too difficult. It's just the town that it's still sitting in my head, what to do. So I'm definitely saving that for last. But then once I do, I'm gonna do those close-ups of all these environments that are relevant to the story, and yeah, we'll see. See a whole different scenery, and then I'll move on to the next map, which will probably where all this land connects to over here. That'll probably be the next bit of land that I do, and that's gonna be dope because that's gonna be kind of jungle forest type stuff, but we're a minute away from that. Yeah, man, thanks for stopping by. This is the Andrew Gloszewski Experience. I'm Mr. Drew. Mr. Drew on all socials. gmrdrew.art. You can check out my my website, my portfolio online. You can see all the stuff I do, all the stuff I've done. And yeah, man, this was super dope. Super dope hanging with you, man. So, hope to see you next time. Good night.